Let's explore what might have happened to Claude from GTA 3 after the game ended. While it's a challenging task, we can piece together the facts to draw some conclusions. If Claude could speak, he might tell us directly, but since he doesn't, we need to think for ourselves. At the end, let's explore what might have happened to Claude from GTA 3 after the game ended. While it's a challenging task, we can piece together the facts to draw some conclusions. If Claude could speak, he might tell us directly, but since he doesn't, we need to think for ourselves. At the end of the game, Claude left us with no clues. Oscar was murdered by Catalina, and Ray Machowski fled to Vice City to escape the CIA after getting tangled with the Colombian cartel, which was peddling a drug called Spank. Donald Love also vanished without a trace, along with his secretive dealings and a Chinese counterfeiting expert. Furthermore, both Kenji and Asuka were killed, and interestingly, it was Claude who killed Kenji, the only gang that had been honest with him. In essence, Claude had no reason to stay in the city. Staunton and Shoreside Vale were swarming with Colombians, and the Yardie gang in central Staunton would quickly obliterate any body armor you just purchased. What's more perplexing is their motivation. They betrayed Claude, despite it being the other way around, all for Catalina, who was already dead. If they had killed Claude, they wouldn't gain anything since the dealmaker is in the graveyard. It seems they might be acting out of boredom, or perhaps just have an excessive stockpile of ammunition they want to clear out. Otherwise, I truly don't get it. In Portland, it's best to steer clear. Not only do the Chinese want to take revenge, but the Leone gang also remembers who ordered their boss's murder. And is not inclined to forgive. Those guys are heavily armed, so drive into their territory, and a couple of shotgun blasts could send you back to the game from the hospital. For Claude to enjoy the money he earned and live a quiet life, he would need to eliminate those who wanted him dead. Making deals was unlikely since Claude wasn't a diplomat and lacked exceptional communication skills. In the first scenario, Claude had to take on these gangs. While he was still a ruthless thug, he couldn't handle them all alone. The Southside Hoods were the only gang he had a relatively good relationship with. This small street gang controlled the poorer areas of Wichita Gardens. The Yakuza could also be considered allies, although Claude killed their leader Kenji. Fortunately, no one discovered this. After Asuka and Kenji's deaths, the Yakuza focused on rebuilding. They definitely weren't keen on starting a war over some psycho. I think you understand that. Therefore, Claude is limited to working with the Wichita Gardens gang. Given enough time and collaboration, they could potentially rise to become significant players in the criminal underworld, especially since Claude is a top-tier killing machine. We know he caused serious issues for one gang, essentially sparking a violent war. Initially, Claude, D-Ice, and his crew would aim to take over Cedar Grove from the Colombians, then work on expanding their influence in Pike Creek before considering major conflicts elsewhere in the city. While this scenario sounds fantastical and more like an elaborate DLC expansion, it offers Claude a real purpose without leaving Liberty City. While this theory may seem a bit far-fetched and challenging to integrate into the existing storyline, there is some logic to it. It's arguably more likely that Claude would choose to leave Liberty City after amassing a considerable amount of money through murder and theft, angering dangerous individuals in the process. Therefore, it would be wise for him to escape these vengeful gangsters, enjoy his ill-gotten gains, and retire like Michael DeSanta from GTA 5. Ultimately, isn't that the point of being a criminal? You rob and kill to accumulate wealth and then vanish. Alternatively, Claude could return to San Andreas and get back into racing, as he likely still has connections there even after all these years. He could also head to Vice City, check in with Ray Machowski, see how he's doing, and perhaps team up for a new venture. There are numerous possibilities, and Rockstar has done an excellent job of creating stories filled with enough ambiguity for player speculation. These aren't just random ideas, they're rooted in the facts of the games. However, I'd like to propose a third possibility that might surprise you, but hear me out first. I believe there's a chance that after the events of GTA 3, Claude may have taken his own life. Why do I think this? Because I'm drawing a parallel with Toshiko Kassen, a key character in GTA Liberty City stories. She is the wife of the Yakuza boss, Kazuki Kassen, who ended her life after losing her will to live. She moved from Japan to Liberty City and married Kazuki, spurring him to the top of the Yakuza. It soon became clear that Kazuki didn't love Toshiko. He married her only to advance his own status. When she realized this, she was heartbroken and vowed to destroy Kazuki and his organization.
But it is fitting that I kill you myself. You too, leave us. I am going to enjoy thrusting my sword into you.
Yeah, I heard that about you.
After Tony helped her enact this plan, she tragically jumped out of the window.
Goodbye, Tony-san.
As we can see, Toshiko loved Kazuki so deeply that she couldn't or envision a happy life without him, even though he was a complete jerk. The relationship between Claude and Catalina could have been quite similar. Catalina never loved Claude, yet he believed he loved her. During the bank robbery at the game's start, a harsh reality emerges. In essence, Claude could represent Toshiko, while Catalina could be seen as Kazuki. Claude genuinely loved her, and she exploited that love to drag him into all those heists. Then she betrayed him. In the final mission, when Claude kills his ex, he might have taken a path similar to Toshiko's and considered suicide. Yes, it's a wild theory, but it shouldn't be dismissed. We can tell that Claude isn't immune to the weight of his experiences. Up until a certain point, he remained loyal to Catalina, who ultimately betrayed him, and the same goes for Salvatore, who also turned against him. Claude was loyal to the leader of the Yardies, who tricked him as well. Thus, we can't be entirely sure that Claude's past experiences didn't affect him, and that he didn't set up the Yakuza. In fact, the GTA series frequently explores the theme of betrayal without apparent reason. A prime example is Salvatore's betrayal of Claude, which stemmed from a framing incident involving CJ back when they were still in Las Venturas. So yes, the theory of is indeed unconventional, but it does have its logic. At the same time, we can't overlook the question of whether Claude shot Maria at the end of GTA 3. For those unaware, in the final mission, just before the screen goes black and the credits roll, we hear Maria chattering away with Claude about trivial things. This takes place after Claude saves her from Catalina.
Fleeing the scene with a dark-haired woman. Oh, we're gonna have such fun, because, I love you. I really do, because you're such a big, strong man, and that's just what I need. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, I forget, but you know what it's like, don't you? I broke a nail, and my hair is ruined. I mean, can you believe it? This one cost me $50.
Then we hear a gunshot, and Maria falls silent. Following that, all is quiet, and the credits continue. Perhaps he just wanted her to stop talking because she was rambling nonsensically. She can be quite annoying, and it makes sense that Claude, being mute, wouldn't have much to respond with. So there are two possibilities. Either he shot into the air or he shot her. It's a sad thought to consider the murder of the only person who genuinely cared about you. While Maria loved Claude, she could easily have fallen for someone else. As we know from GTA LCS, she became infatuated with Tony, a biker who abused her.
I love you, Tony Cipriani.
Who knows who else she might have loved. All the while, she was married to the head of a mafia clan. Additionally, it's worth noting that Maria was the one who introduced Claude to Asuka, leading him to meet Ray and Donald Love. Through working for them, Claude earned a significant amount of money, but it was also because of Maria that the mafia wanted Claude dead when she told Salvatore she loved him. This may have amplified Salvatore's paranoia, eventually causing him to betray Claude. Additionally, Claude was a genuine sociopath who ceased to form bonds with others at a certain stage. Therefore, eliminating a gold digger who spent her days using drugs and sleeping with half the city's misfits would hardly pose a problem for him. The key takeaway is that Claude might have left his past behind, married Maria, and they could have had a happy life together. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments about Claude's future. I'll definitely read all of your reflections and insights on it.
En oo pöhönä sää. Ja minulla on nyt suuri paljastus. Niin, ja minulla on nyt suuri paljastus. Ei, kun et absoluuttinen nollapiste esiintyy Logomon terassikesäänsä. 8.8.
Just give me a drink, quick. This for you.
short leash, huh?
I'd like to be alone with you, honey. You looking for some fun, honey?
Nope.
Maybe another time, then?
I'm all single-footed.
I'd like to be alone with you, honey.
Ja totuus on, että justusjoutupe on aivoton ihminen ja absoluuttinen 0 ja perse bändi. Ja mitä voi hitsiä? No mitä voi hitsi?
Don't be shy, honey bunch. I won't bite.
Et ole androidi, sinä oot ihminen, ei oo mitään. Ja ei oo mitään karravehan faile. Ja et oo meikä androidi.
Another round?
Ei ole.
I had about enough of that bombing running his mouth.
Sinut on erotettu. Toi konttiskandaali ja tarkistusvähennösten takia.
She did deserve no better. Damn it.
Eikö sinut on erotettu? Konttiopottamisten ja kadottamisten ja tarkistusväärennysten ja konttiskandaalin tekemisestä niin ja nostettu on syytteet, joo.
Tänne. Mitä Kiina? Hei Kiina.
No hei hei.
Mitäs mies?
Ei mitään, mulla on itselläkin striimi päällä.
Mitä sä striimaat?
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Siinä voi niillä hepoilla sitten ratsia.
Voi se raipata hevosta.
Etkö nyt täällä... tossa me käytiin jo jotain avalti vai? Kyllä.
Ootko sä nyt niitä tapahtumia tarkastellut Kiinan viime aikoina?
No oon mä vähäsen ja nyt mä meinaan Porispereen mennä.
Mikä?
Porispereen semmoselle festivaalille.
Milloin ne
Siellä se absoluuttinen nollapesti.
Niin, eikä 1. ja 2. päivä elokuuta olis nyttee.
Siihen on vielä aika pitkä aika.
Niin no.
Mä ajattelin ite mennä Tuskaan ja Helsinki Metal Festivalille sitten kun ne on kesällä.
Ja Helsinki Metal Festivalille vai?
Joo, siellä on ihan kovia esiintyjiä.
Joo, munkin tekis mieli, kun siellä on se muun sorrovi ja toi...
Niin, no muun sorrovi oli joo.
Ja sitten toinen on Enslaved niminen bändi.
Joo, tiedän Enslavedin kyllä myös.
Joo.
Sekin on ihan kova. Ne aloitti semmosella black metallista. Tää uudempi tuotanto on vähän progressiivisempaa.
Joo, sen mäkin tiesin, että se on vähän niinku proge black metallia, joo.
Joo. Se oli muutenkin ihan kova katte. Ei se mun maku ainakaan hirveästi huonoja bändejä tekee ollenkaan. Mun mielestä se näytä mun mielestä Kandelemassa ihan kova myös.
Niin kun mullahan on itellä... Niin...
I ain't good at all.
真係可惜。
They talking about quarantining the ships coming into the harbor. Say they worried about the plague coming through Fist.
Whole world's going to heck, I says.
watched one of the deputies let a fella out of jail for a bottle of whiskey. Wasn't even the expensive stuff either.
Damn, if that ain't something.
They hung that fella who stole a bag of flour from the general store. Guess that's one way to cure a man of hunger.
This place is a right mess. Some kind of bug been eating them pecan trees fifths.
Sounds like I heard what you heard.
Ah, well.
You hear about that old rancher? Got stomped to death by one of his cows.
Drunk as a skunk.
You never go the way you hope to, do you?
Can't do nothing about that.
You alright?
I'm a right mess.
Huh. No sympathy from me.
En ole.
Sounds like I heard what you heard.
Jengi tuo piti ottaa skidokotyyppiä katsomaan Vegas.
Nyt pitää ottaa olutta. Milloin Samuel on viimeksi olutta maistellut? Vittu, pitääkö mun huomata mennä kouluun oikeesti? Vittua. Ei tolle luodalle periaatteessa varmaan tarvii mennä. Meillä on joku info. Mitäs info?
The other day, I watched two fellas line up for a
Mä en
duel.
muista, onko vittu
Draw
uskottavaa oo.
irons
Kato,
and then
siirtyykö
miss every
kuukauden
shot.
päähän.
Kinda took the wind out of their sails.
Ei ollenkaan.
Shoot, that don't surprise me one
Ei,
bit.
se on mun uusinta kuin toi fysiikan, mut se on vittu siirretty. Se piti olla ensi torstaina nyt. Se on siirretty kuukauden päähän 14.4. No. Perkele. Huomenna vois dokata sitä. Oikein kuule. Olan takaa ottaa. Dokaileeks Kiina usein?
No aika vähän mä dokailen.
Onko
siis,
sä enemmän fentanyliystävä vai mikä se?
no kyllä mä siis juon alkoholia kyllä, mutta en koske huumeisiin. Se on niinku...
Oot sä sitten semmonen enemmän, että sä juot alkoholia maltillisesti, etkä dokaile?
Juu, maltillisesti, joo.
Joo, se on ihan viisasta.
Se Pauli kyllä ei ainakaan maltillisesti sitä käytä, että se vetää ihan kunnolla niissä DJ-liveissä.
Niinkö meinaa? Onks se nyt ollut päissään se DJ-liveissä muka viime aikoina? Niin, näin. No miten nyt oikeesti lässetään Kiinalle se Twitch-käyttäjä, että Kiina pääsee kattoo Paulin liveä taas?
Tällä hetkellä sit kun huvittaa.
Ei kun nyt pitää tehdä.
En mä tänään.
Minkä takia sä sait Kiina silloin bännit sinne Twitchiin? Mitä sä oikein kirjoitit, että sä sait bännit? Faktatieto.
Old Mr. Henderson done flung his chamber pot at some kids messing around in his yard.
Just when I thought I heard it all.
This new century is hogwash. Things was much better 30 years ago.
How about that?
Ah, well.
Maybe that last dream wasn't a good idea.
Some kind of bug been eating them pecan trees' fists.
Sounds like I heard what you heard. They hung that fellow who stole a bag of flour from the general store. Guess that's one way to cure a man of hunger.
This place is a right mess. Old Mr. Henderson done flung his chamber pot at some kids messing around in his yard.
Just when I thought I heard it all.
Yup.
I'm all tangle-footed.
Old Miss Trimble be running around outside wearing nothing but a house coat and curlers. Crazy old bat.
Well, there's something to be said for consistency, I suppose.
Ah, well. Some kind of bug been eating them pecan trees' fists.
Sounds like I heard what you heard.
Yup.
Well, hello there.
Look around. This here's the 20th century.
Sure looks like shit to me.
Really now?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
This new century is hogwash. Things was much better 30 years ago.
Yeah?
Ah, well.
Think I done drank myself slick.
drunk as a skunk.
Hi, fellas. Do you want to have some fun?
I don't think so.
Well, that's too bad for you.
Well, that's that.
Yep.
I'll give a lick, what you think?